Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. I would like to give you a short story entitled A Very Special Bank Account. I was supposed to talk to you na wala akong script because I'm really having difficulty in speaking, and we came home very late last night. But instead, I thought of scribbling this message for all of you, para suabe. Okay, the short story is entitled A Very Special Bank Account. Imagine you had a bank account that deposited 86,400,000 each morning.
Wow.
Each morning, huh? Each morning. The account carries over no balance from day to day, allows you to keep no cash balance, and every evening cancels whatever part of the amount you had failed to use during the day. Nawawala. What would you do? Of course, draw out every peso each day. We all have such a bank. Its name is time. Every morning, it credits you with 86,400 seconds. Every night, it writes off as lost whatever time you can have failed to use wisely. It carries over no balance from day to day. It allows no overdraft, so you can't borrow against yourself or use more time that you have. Each day, the account starts fresh. Each night, it destroys an unused time. If you fail, each night it destroys an unused time. If you fail to use the day's deposit, it's your loss, and you can't appeal to get it back. There is never any borrowing time. You can take a loan out on your time or against someone else. The time you have is the time you have, and that is that. Time management is yours to decide how you spend the time. Just as with money, you decide how you spend the money. It is never the case of us not having enough time to do things, but a case of whether we want to do them and where they fall in our priorities. My dear champion presidents, in the past 3 days, you voluntarily gave your time. You voluntarily submitted yourself to something which in the very first place, you did not really know what was in store for you. You marched into the halls of this venue, not knowing where it will lead you. But just the same, you went into this journey. This great journey of honing your talents so that you could become the best leader you could ever be. Now, it is time for you to share what you have learned when you go back to your own clubs and be with your members. Remember, my dear champion presidents, that this time in your life was really destined for you. I believe that when each and every one of you, when each and every one of you was born, you were destined to become leaders, and leaders that will make a change in the lives of our less privileged communities. Be thankful for being given this opportunity to serve. Never waste your time, my dear presidents. never waste your life. I come to you as a governor of passion and commitment to the ideals of Rotary service. I come to you as a governor for peace, and I come to you as a governor for change. Please, my dear champion presidents, be one with me as we continue to fight for the causes of our organization, for the causes of Rotary. For what are we here for if we do not practice what we have learned? Let us not fail ourselves. Let us show the mark of a true champion, a champion who will rise in adversities and never give up. I thank Gov. Karen, our district trainer, and her team for their time and efforts in giving us the best learning environment and learning modules. Preparations were intense, and I think their hard work paid off as we saw in you the enthusiasm to lift your club. A simple nod, a simple smile, and a simple gesture that you have taken what you have learned here into your hearts and minds is all that we need. For this will keep us going in giving you the best support as you start your year as champion presidents. I also thank much our host club headed by past Sister Governor Ernest Uyek and spouse Anna, Chair Ramil and spouse Arlene, the whole Rotary Club of Manuel Ross Boulevard, Manila, and your partners for unselfishly giving your time, talent, and treasure, just so you could give each and every one of us a grand and unforgettable pets. Once again, words are not enough to say thank you. The venue, the food, the fellowship were superb. I, as your governor, could not ask for more. And I think we all had the best. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you, thank you. To all our district officers, to our DS Eric and COS Bell, and IXACOM, my SDGs, my AGs, I ran out of words to describe the great feeling I have to express my appreciation. Your support was amazing. It made my job easier. To SDG Red and your team, na mga cameraman na marunong na magsabi na connect to the world. Nauuna pa sa akin, tuwing click, connect to the world. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. To those who are operating also our sound system, to everybody, maraming salamat. And to our ADSEC Sol and Maricon, thank you for all the help. Our pets is done, but the memories, the learnings, and the gift of friendship that we have created will linger and last for a lifetime. And I want you all to cherish this. Never ever forget that you had the best friendship in your classmates, your officers, and your governor. Never forget our chant. Never ever forget your dance. Wow. The camaraderie that you had established. And never, never forget the heart of a true champion. Yeah. I'd like to give you this quote from Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States of America. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcomings. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. End of quote. My dear champion presidents, you will be in the midst of this arena. There will be times that you will suffer defeat, and you will have dust, blood, and sweat when you are criticized as leaders of your club. And when this happens, as a champion for peace, never engage, never box. Bear in mind that it is better to be kind than to be right. Also remember that you have the heart of a champion. And again, a champion loses the bout only, not when he falls, but when he refuses to stand and continue the fight. So rise up and shine, my dear champion presidents. Rise to the challenge of doing good in Rotary. Thank you very much. Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Have a safe trip back home. I love you all. God bless us all. Champion presidents. Thank you very, very much. I just would like to ask some prayers. I have 3 sons. 2 will be having their fights on March 25. I want prayers from you. They'll be up against very tough fighters. My eldest son, Bai, who's getting a comeback, will fight an Indonesian. My other son, who is a WBO Asia Pacific champion, is fighting a Japanese. And my youngest son will have his game this afternoon against San Miguel. It's Northport Batangkel. He's playing as a point guard. So please do pray for them for safety and win. Thank you very, very much.